Juliana Laika is my colleague, is live to us now from our London studios. Good morning, Juliana.
Good morning, Bosun.
Great, hope you're doing well today.
I didn't catch the end of that, but I'm sure you're being as
yes. I hope you. I'm asking. I was asking if you.
Well, morning. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess the weather conditions are a lot better.
The weather conditions are a lot better. This is still quite snug, but there's no turtleneck this morning.
Exactly, I can see the neckline. Thank you so much. That's nice. Keep it there and get Storm Sierra to subside and let folks have a bit of a more normal life. Thank you. So, where are we with the Brexit reassurances by cabinet members regarding the custom tariff, the import checks, and what have you, in the countdown to January 1st, 2021? What is new?
Well, Bosun, I'm not sure if there are reassurances that British business has been getting by the government, but Cabinet Minister Michael Gove yesterday had quite an important speech. It went a little bit under the radar, but nevertheless, it's definitely picked up press today. And basically what he was saying is that come January the 1st, 2021, there will now be regulations and checks on the border. This is whether or not a trade deal is struck with the EU, and it has caused a little bit of outrage because at the beginning of the Brexit discussions, this was exactly the fear that British businesses had. British industry, British business, they rely heavily on the frictionless trade flows between Britain and the continent, and that will change, and there are issues that will come and arise out of that. The British Retail Consortium, which is a massive group, they really look after exports and imports that are coming into some of our big supermarkets in here. They're worried about fresh fruit and vegetables because, of course, right now that just goes through Dover and goes straight into the supermarket. But once there are these regulations, how long is it going to take? How is it going to affect the freshness of these ingredients? So there are a lot of issues that will arise from this announcement that Gove made yesterday. He says that there will be phases, there will be preparations, and business will be ready, but it has struck a question as if this transition period, this 11 months, well, it's less than 11 months now, is enough to sort out these really pressing issues.
It looks like there's still a lot of T's to cross and dots to put in place to get January 1st, 2021 in place. So does January 1st next year, looks like another major day on the Brexit calendar, Juliana?
Well, yes, January the 1st is going to be a mega day. There was that Brexit day on January the 31st, but the 1st is when it really kicks in, especially for Brits that love to travel, the pound. We're going to probably see a big shake like the outgoing governor of the Bank of England, Carney, said would happen. There are going to be lots of issues, especially even with, you know, the ease of doing business and the ease of travel. That's the huge thing, because at the moment, if you've got a red passport, a British passport, you can go to Heathrow now and get on a flight to the south of France come January the 1st. That is not going to happen. And whilst the negotiations will take place, which starts next month in a couple of weeks, the EU, Michel Barnier, the chief negotiator, has said he wants all discussions to be taking place with the whole of the EU 27. So Boris Johnson's got to tackle that before he can go to each and individual state, trying to sort out what happens with their citizens, what happens with visa arrangements. So it's a huge, huge deal, which is why a lot of people think that Boris Johnson and the rest of his Conservative cabinet want to crash out of the EU with a no deal, because it's an impossible situation that he's put himself into.
I'm going to try my best to try and be in London on the 1st of January 2021. I want to see what it really looks like. I missed the January 31st this year. I'm not going to make the one for next year when I want to see the other side of the UK. If the sun rises from the east and it's going to still settles in the West on the 1st of January next year. Still a long way from now, by the way. So how do you go from London to Birmingham, Juliana, in terms of what the Department of Transportation is working on by bus, by rail, overground, underground? Any idea how much this is going to cost? And why is so much conversation about the new HS2? Is that what it's called?
High-speed 2 rail, yes, HS2, it's a huge issue, a big burden for Prime Minister Boris Johnson. But I suppose the only talking point about London and Birmingham today is that he has made a decision. So imminently, any time now, I'm sure as soon as I get out of the studio here, the government would confirm that they are going ahead with this project. So for those people who live in Birmingham, this is great news. This is what you call the rebalancing of the British economy, because most people do know that, you know, everything does kind of exist in London. This is where all the big businesses are, those global technology companies, Westminster, the House of Lords, and the North have felt shy of that. They felt that they have literally been cut off from the big bucks for too long. Boris Johnson, in his campaign manifesto, he said that he will be rebalancing that. And one of those things is this HS2, this high-speed rail, which is going to bring jobs, which is going to make commuting to Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds a lot more faster and quicker. The only problem is it costs £100 billion. The prices keep doubling, the time keeps taking much longer. And there are traditional Conservatives that don't believe in investing in a project that's not going to bring as much money out as you've put in, and that's what it will do. It seems to be a sinkhole, apart from the fact that Boris Johnson will be appeasing those who live in the north. But he has made a decision, so we're expecting him to make that announcement, and there will certainly be a lot of fallout from this.
You know, there's something about the city of London. If you look at it, that's one city that's able, as you just enumerated, is able to put its political, economic, and financial markets together in one single landscape. That's interesting. If you look at US, you have the Washington, where you have the political guys. Then you have New York, Wall Street separated. You take a look at Germany and a few
San
others.
Francisco.
Yes, and Frisco. So, but London seems to have everything in one single capsule. You just swallow it, and that's it. So everyone wants to do business, everyone wants to live in London, everyone wants to do business with London. So, talk to us about the financial markets today. How are you opening up?
Well, it seems as if the equities and the currencies market have shaken off the coronavirus. Every day it changes. Yesterday that was the fear. Today there's over 1,000 deaths now. The FTSE 100 still opened up in the blue. It was up about 77 points. I think at the moment the pound is trading flat against the dollar. £1 is worth about $1.29 and a bit. I suppose the biggest news that we have probably all year so far is UK GDP. So the last quarter of 2019, those 3 months to December, which is going to be vital. In fact, I'm sure the numbers are probably out now as we speak.
Yes.
A lot of people are expecting it to be about 0.8%.
That's zero already.
Who knows what it's going to be? But this
is zero. It's zero.
It's out.
It's zero. It's zero. Yes, it's out. It's zero.
It's zero.
That's the consensus. That's the real figure. Yes.
It's flat.
It's flat. It's flattish.
Wow. Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
So you got a lot to talk about on that. With Chimeze.
Great.
Chimeze's got a lot to ask you about that at 1:30. Business Incorporated. Thank you so much. Let's sign you off at this point and sign off our viewers here in Nigeria and around the world on today's edition of Business Morning. Thank you so much, Juliana Olayinka from our London studios. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.